this is the Pergo Outlast floor. It's waterproof. Now it is just a compressed board. See if I can get that in there. So it is compressed, but it's got like a laminated sheet on top. And it's also laminated sheet on the back. And then the foam padding is actually already installed on it. So you don't have the additional cost. You don't have the additional cost of buying your padding for the flooring. It's already there. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to go, well, if I go with this padding, it's already done. It's super easy to install. I'll show you that. You just basically lay it. It's a floating floor. You lay it, lock it together, and it's good. Alright friends, so now that I got all the carpet ripped up, I'm going to rip up the baseboard around the closet. And what I'll do is I'll dry fit everything, how I'm going to install it, how easy of a job it is to do. The hardest part is just the prep work. Before I get started, I'll show you my new shirt. My wife made this for me for Christmas. Thought it was really sweet. Alright, let's jump into this. Now I got to rip up all the base trim, get it out of the way. Alright, so when doing the baseboard, if you're going to save it, you got to take it off gently. It's not too bad. They did caulk around the top of this and along the sides. So I'm going to use my tiny pry bar. I'm just going to pry it off the wall a little bit. Do my best not to damage the wall or the trim. It's all going to be put back on. I got one piece up. It's the side I'm going to start the flooring on. I'll go around the room and get the rest of the trim off. You do want to stagger your joints every row. So I only have to cut it here and here on these two pieces. And then the next piece will actually I'll just trim off the locking joint. And it'll be set. It'll be done. That'll be our easiest bet, and let's jump into that. Got the first piece here. Just goes right here in the corner. Okay, I'm going to show you right here what I'm talking about with vent. How I'm going to make this the easiest route. It's the only vent in this room, and so all I'm going to do is I'm just going to mark out on the back side. I'll cut it a little big, and then I will continue to lay the flooring. This is our hardest spot right here where the vent is. So what I'm going to do is just take my pen, stick my hand in, go all the way to the one side, mark it, back on this side, mark it. Now watch. Now I know my vent right here on my flooring. What I'll do is I will cut it a little big so that I have enough room for the register vent. Take this, line this up where I want it. Mark it just like the last one. And the nice thing about this foam on the back of it, for the pre-padding, is you don't have to worry about if your line marked or not. You're going to see the indent from where you ran your pen. So as you can see, my indent's here. There on my corner. Alright, I'm gonna go cut this one up. I'll be right back. Alright, so I cut this one out. It doesn't have to be exactly perfect. Your edges don't have to be crisp. because this will actually not be waterproof here because of your cuts. But when I do this piece, I'll be able to just slide it together. My vent will fit right in. Just like that. Alright, so that's how it's going to look. That is my hardest cuts. Just these two. Alright, I pre-planned that. I don't have to go all the way to the edge out here. I can stop a little bit shy because I do have that trim. Alright, but I want to get nice and close. So when I slide it and lock it together, it's not going to be hard to lock together. So I'll get a measurement for this and I'll cut that into place. So when I'm measuring this, okay, so when I'm measuring this, I'm actually going from the finished edge. I'm not going from the tab. So to get an accurate measurement, I go from this finished edge to the wall. Okay? Alright, remember, the cuts don't have to be fabulous. There's a little bit of chipping on this. It's not the greatest, but it works. It doesn't have to be perfect. It's getting covered with the baseboard. Alright, so what I'll do is I'll take the remainder of the board that I just laid, the part that got cut off, and I'll use that to start the next row, so that my joints are staggered and they all don't fall in line. I mean, all I was doing was I was cutting off this edge. This is the side that I need to hook into the first row. So I'll do that, and I'll just work out my way down. floor now is just this little bit right here, and it'll be done. I think that looks really nice. Alright, so here's the trim for the door. The transition trim. And it's really simple to use. All you do is you cut it to size, trim this down to size, metal strip. It doesn't have to be exact. It can be a little bit short on each side. That's fine. So I just use tin snips to cut this metal track, and I'll cut this to the size best as possible. All it's going to do is it's just going to fit in here. But I had to stop at the store and I had to grab this because I forgot to get it. And I'll cut this metal track to size so I know what kind of clearance I need between this last piece and the old floor of the bathroom. So I'll cut that up. I'll get that installed, and then I can run my last little bit of flooring. Alright. Just have yourself a little saw. Like this one, it's like a little Japanese saw. Very flexible. You can cut this trim work right here very easily with this. In some cases it's actually better to use this because it's more of a fine cut. Japanese saws are really good for the fine work. Can't really tell the difference between the two. Actually, this one's worse off than the other side. So, check my bit. Come out just right. Nice and tight, not too tight though. Okay, so I got everything cut. Now I just gotta piece it in and I'll take you through that. So it really wasn't too bad cutting this up. As long as you don't mess up the measurements or which side you're cutting, it's not going to be an issue. So here it is. I'll show you how I piece this in together. It's a little tricky because you got to go in and you got to bring the other one in and interlock it as it's underneath the trim. But it's not too difficult once you get the hang of it. So let me show you how I do that. Alright, I'm going to lock these first two together. Key is just to be patient with it. Alright. There's that. It's not pushed in all the way yet. Let me bring you over here to this one. This one gets a little bit more tricky because this section stayed at full length for both pieces, and it is split between two pieces. I gotta bring this one in. You gotta kind of flex it. It does have some play in it. I'm just gonna flex it underneath the door. Alright. Now it's not locked in. There it goes. All right. Now I can lock them all together. Right here. They aren't locked in yet, nor are they locked in here yet. So what I'll do is I'll push them together. I'll work my way down, locking them together. What I'm going to use for this is, I'm just going to take a pry bar. I'm going to hit this outside edge, and I'll hopefully give it enough. Oh, there it goes. Locked in there now. So then I'll just work my way down. Okay, so if you remember, I locked that one piece in, first piece in already. Then I worked my way down on the other three pieces. So I have all three pieces locked together. Now what I need to do is I need to go and lock them in to the prior piece in the front. I'll show you how I'm going to do that. So I'm just going to take the pry bar, go against the back wall, in this gap right here. All it's going to do is it's going to push this gap closed. It's best to work from one side and just lock it in as you go. Since that's a doorway, I don't really have anything to pry against on the wall. You gotta be really gentle on the wall. Sometimes it's not quite supported all the way. Work your way down. Where a second pry bar comes in real handy. Thanks for watching. May God bless you and your family, and I'll see you next time. Alright, now I just gotta go through and nail it all down. I won't even bother with that with you here. I won't even bother to bore you with that here.